Hello guys, welcome to Icon Online class. Today we're gonna look up the walking cycle. So walking cycle is the very basic animation practice, but it's basic. It's really hard to get it right in the first time. So let's get started. We have to create the new layer. Open the Photoshop and create new. Command N is the shortcut, as you know. I want to create HD size 90/20 and 1080. Then I'm gonna create the video frame rate as a 24 frame. That's the normal animation video frame rate, so keep that in mind. You're gonna deal with 24 image in a second. You're gonna draw 24 drawings to make it 1 second. But maybe that's too much this time, so we're gonna work by 2. So we're gonna use 12 frames for the final results. We seriously draw something on our canvas. I just want to introduce this concept first. So there is some approach we can draw animation at first, but today we're gonna use pose-to-pose method. That means we actually have some key poses in our mind and draw the in-between after we establish those key poses. So in the walking cycle, we have 4 different kinds of key poses that cause contact, and when figure goes down, we call it down, and when that pass the position to down to up, we call that in-between pose as a passing position, and then we go up and then contact. So you can see in this reference, those like contact have the both switch legs in the very first image and the last image. So that's the method and the photo reference. We're gonna use it for this online class. So now I'm gonna start drawing the pelvis position first. So we're just gonna draw the circle, and it will almost look like a bouncing ball going up and down as a cycle. I recommend you guys to divide the layer frames as a 4 frame, as a keyframe rough cut. And you can divide your layers when you go all the way right and see that little gizmo. There's a split layer and you can cut it. And then you drag it down and make the second one. Make sure you turn on the onion skin light setting so that you can see what's the frame before that frame you're working on it. And then see, I met the down, and I'm gonna drag it a little bit up, but I'm not sure how up I'm gonna drag it up. So yeah, maybe I should use the guide I'm dragging out from the canvas. You see the cyan guideline? And I set the highest point and make sure the passing position don't go over with that. And then right now I'm working with the up position. But then, as we have this cycle, we can duplicate this contact down, passing position up for the pelvis layer. So see, it's like a bouncing ball. After we draw the pelvis, then we're gonna start drawing our rib cage for the draft of the upper body. Just try to follow the distance between the pelvis and the rib cage. And when it goes down, you might have to rotate a little bit below by changing the center A6. Use the Command and T and do the transform. So select all the frames by Command A and drag it a little bit. Then you can see the selections and Command T, and you can lift it over. And do that process over and over again until you finish the one cycle. And to go a little more faster, I just mark it down the contact and the down passing position up in the text layer, and you can see when I play back how it looks like with this movement. To continue with the head and the neck joints, we're gonna move over it, and when it goes down, you can see we actually tilt our neck a little bit, and when it goes up, we tilt it a little bit and lift our neck. So try to adjust it following your upper body. And this is how it looks like so far. Really rough, right? And then I'm gonna quickly move on to the legs. When we go to the down, actually leg spreads as it smacks, and then when the passing position and up, then the legs kind of narrow down and switches the position and goes back to the original positions, but just the switch legs. So front became back, back became front. It's really unclear when I say it verbally, so I recommend you guys all stand up and try to walk and think about that movement. It almost looks like you're walking through the conveyor belt. You're walking, but your position never moves. And that means when you hit the ground in the down position, then your feet have to slide it back to go further more. And just to show you guys, I have connected the center of the knee. It's passing through, and you guys could see it's drawing an 8 as an arc. And I think this is the good point to explain about the arc. So I'm just marking down when the knee meets the center and how it follows through, making its arc. See? So one of the main principal arcs means every movement and every frame, when you connect it, it should compose a beautiful arc in their movement like this. That's way you could see organic and smooth movement rather than unconnected movement. So what is left is our arms. So try to make the joints as a circle and see that as a tracking point from your arm movement. So it prevents your arm get shorter or longer when it moves. You can also use the transform tool and rotate it, but I prefer drawing every frames. It's just me. Do whatever it suits to you. And here's some outcomes from our draft, geometric, breakdown. And the first draft with bare skin. No face details, just the lines that connects the draft. We still call it rough line. And then now we can put some details of clothes, but still it's a 4-frame base and really stiff. And we clean it up, that 4-frame base, and you realize we need some in-betweens. And these are the movement with the in-betweens. You see the in-between lines are a little rough, right? So if you can see it a little bit closer, you can see like hair is bouncing. It's so subtle to say it, squash and stretch, but there is some squash and stretch in the pelvis movement when you see her volume. And this is what it looks like when I rendered out. A little bit slow down the movement and make it exact 2 frames with every frames that I worked. Thanks for your focus, and hope we see it very safe in person again. Thank you.